Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. And I'm here, I know, on a strange day. Today is Tuesday, and we're going to do a Facebook Live. I am trying to find the best way to balance like my lives and my workshops and teaching in a membership group, all of those fun things. So I am actually going to try and move them to earlier in the week, my lives. So for whoever watched last week, I made a super fun layout. It was this one that features the Reindeer Fun. There is a full blog post about this layout, and I can actually drop that in the comments after I'm finished with today's class. But we're going to take the same kind of concept and we're going to go in a pumpkin fall kind of direction. So I am super excited about this one. So like I said, I am trying to, we're going to have some fun with this series for sure. And yes, I did say series. You guys know I love to play with a good theme or something along that lines. So make sure to stay tuned for the next few weeks because we're going to be doing some fun stuff with this whole layout idea. Okay, I'm going to add my desk in here now. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. Like I said, there is a full blog post on the first video from last week. You can find it at chrisscreativelife.com. And then if you go at the top, you'll see all the different tabs. So there's like a home tab, a workshop guide tab, a blog tab. There is a tab for customers who have purchased workshops before. They have their own customer portal. Hey, Vicki. So it's super easy to find. Yeah. So let's get started. I'm going to add my desk in here now, and let's see what I have in mind. Okay, I'm going to turn on more lights because it is super, so dreary, I think we'll call that today. So it's so funny because I was actually looking at the weather on the weekend and it was supposed to be like super nice all week. Yeah, and then yesterday being Monday, it started like drizzling in the morning and it kind of just drizzled all day long. So that was no fun. Okay, so like I said, here is what I did last week with the cute little reindeers. Lots of fun things on here. There is actually also on the blog post a full like supply list of everything I do believe that I used on this layout. But I'm definitely having some fun with this idea. And so like you know, I don't like to just leave an idea on the table. So we're going to have some more fun with it. Can I just move this out of the way and then let's make sure it doesn't get crushed. Okay. So we're going from Christmas holiday backwards to fall. So I'm going to show you the elements that I'm going to keep the same and how we're going to change them up. So I know this might look a little bit funny, but here we go. Okay, so I decided to play with for fall. I've decided to bring in the More Than Autumn stamp set because just for starters, it's stinking cute. And it goes with the theme. And then I pulled in the Iconic Celebrations paper pack. So this is a 6x6 stack. You guys, this is like well used. I hardly actually have anything left. The only theme that I have enough left to do anything with is probably the birthday theme paper. So if you haven't checked this out, this is a super fun. I actually just placed another one into my cart to order because like I said, this one, even this layout, I was kind of like scraping at the bottom of the barrel for the fall themed papers. So this is kind of neat, right? It'll take you all the way through the year. So like I said, we're going to play with some of the fall today. There's actually like New Year's or celebrations, depending on how you look at it. Then there's Christmas. There's some more New Year's. And then there are some birthday ones in here. So maybe we'll have to do something birthday related to use it all up. So that's where I decided to start. Okay, so then I'll pull this back in here for a second, right? So for this one, I used a piece of the pattern paper, but here we're going to use a piece of cardstock and we're going to do something to it. So the measurements are the same from this layout to the fall one, but then obviously you can tell by my little pieces sitting down here, we're going to do something different so that it looks a little bit different. But so because this was pattern paper and I decided to use cardstock for my 12 by 12, so this is Cajun Craze cardstock. It's the new two-tone. So it's part of the Sweet Days of Autumn cardstock combination pack. So I feel good using it. So, but just like I did last week, I gutted this out, and I did that beforehand because I actually am going to use it for my photo mats. And so I did that beforehand, so you didn't have to actually watch me do that because I did it last week, right? So you don't need to watch again. But so I wanted to make this look more like pattern paper and not just cardstock. So I grabbed the of Art and Texture stamp set, and we're going to actually make our own decorative paper on the back. So this one is the one I'm going to use, this one that's kind of just like the little squares. But like this is just kind of one of those great like all-purpose stamp sets to have, right? So that you can create texture in almost anything you do. I think I just need to move my chair out of my way so I can stand up, because apparently that's as long as I could stay sitting down. Okay, so I grabbed Cajun Craze ink, and like I said, we are going to create our own like pattern paper here. And this one is kind of neat because it actually fits into each other. But I don't even necessarily care that it lines up or anything. I just want kind of that distressed look in my frame. And it actually kind of just fits perfectly on my border. So, and it just kind of interlocks into each other. So I'm just going to make my way around. And I have my glass mat down so that I get a nice stamped image. So I just overlapped it a little bit to turn the corner there. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. I'm just going to clean that up off my mat though. I think I have also a piece of double-sided tape hanging off the edge here. I'll move that because either that or I will get stuck on that at some point. So the glass mat comes with like a chamois for cleaning it up. I seem to have like a ton of water in my chamois for some reason. Move these things out of my way. I just have a little bit of extra ink here on the edge that I do not want there. So we're going to take that off. So with all this rain, actually, I was just out driving and I noticed that now all of a sudden, like our leaves have started to change. And with the rain, of course, they're falling off the trees, which boo-hoo. I am for sure a summer kind of gal. I know I live in the wrong spot to say that, but I really am. Okay, same thing. I'm going to stamp off the edge. And I got less ink that time. Okay, we're turning the corner. So like I said, I decided to pick up some of the elements from the last layout and add them to this one. But of course, we're going to change things up, and I have some stinking cute photos that I'll add at the end to the layout. And I'm even going to take the title from the stamp set for my layout. So that more than autumn. Okay, so I'm just going to cover this up so that I can finish off my little chain here. There we go. So see, you don't always have to have matching pattern paper. So I'm just going to clean my stamp quickly. I did think about using like different stamp sets in the background too, because my title is going to be from the stamp set, like I said, but now I can't see the stamp set. Oh, it's here in my pile, I think. So my title is going to be from the die cuts, and it's going to say nothing's better than pumpkin season. So I thought that was kind of fun. So we're going to use that as our title on our layout. Okay, so that was Cajun Craze on the Cajun Craze cardstock. I'm just going to put that to the side, and I need to actually wet my hands because now, of course, I have Cajun Craze on everything. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I have my piece of white, willow white willow. We're going to add, and I have this circle, and we're just going to use, this isn't actually for anything, we're just going to use it for placement, but let's add some adhesive around the inside of our square. Okay, and I kind of like the how the stamp set's imperfect, right? So even if your cardstock were to be like not exactly perfect, it's still, let me just get my ruler. It's still going to be okay. It's crazy. I have so much light shining on my table right now, guys, and it's still dark because it's kind of still. It was supposed to be like by now it was supposed to be sunny and the rain was supposed to stop. I don't see that, but okay. So here we go. You could also ink distress the edges or splatter at this point if you wanted. But so what I have done is I picked, let me see. a few of the patterns. So these are all the patterns that I picked that were fall themed, right? So there's the Cajun Craze with the leaf on it. Okay, and I've got 2 different sized pieces. So some of them I cut at 2.5 by 1.5, and some are 2.5 by 1. And these are actually going to end, I wanted to have more length than I actually need. They're going to end up being longer than I actually need. So then I cut myself a circle, and because I'm going to create a wreath with the dovetailed pieces, I just wanted to make sure that I'm kind of evenly spacing everything because I pre-cut it. So this is just going to give me kind of like a frame to work around. So this is what I did is I picked my first color to do like in the 4 sections. Then the other patterns that I picked are, I have this plaid. Then I have a mossy meadow that's striped. Then I have the acorns, which is actually the backside is the dots, which I also have. I used this star, hey Tara, print, which on the back has like the doves. But everything will go together, right? Like that's the super fun thing about this. So for each section, I have exactly these same dovetailed pieces. So to dovetail your ends, right, I find it easier to either cut up the middle and then go in from each side, or you can fold it in half and dovetail it that way. So I think this is probably about the same width. So you can either cut up and then cut in, or you can fold it in half and just trim to your corners. So there's lots of fun like tricks to dovetailing a piece. But so I have these pieces for each section. So we're going to start with adhering the 4 main pieces here. And like I said, I just cut out my circle so that it'll be like my guide. So, and then I can kind of use my measurements too on my glass mat, so like I know where my 6 inches are. I'm just trying to decide if maybe I need to move this down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I'm almost creating like a compass, right? And then I'll go in and fill it in. Hey, Rhonda. Don't worry about being late. And like I said, I'm playing around with like my days and timing on my lives to kind of figure out, because normally I end up going like later in the week and then it's like a mad dash for me. So I'm thinking we're going to try earlier in the week. Okay, so all of these pieces, the wider ones, are the same size. So they're all like the 2.5 by 1.5. But like I said, they're going to end up being longer than I actually need. And I'm just going to space these 3 pieces in the quarter here, right? And then we have other pieces, the 1-inch pieces, that I'm then going to add on top. So this is like going to be literally look like a wreath like you would have on your front door. So 1, So I'm just going to put in my big pieces first, and then we'll see. I might have to, we'll see if I have to add in something more. But so I have then those exact same pieces for my next section. And I just basically created a pattern to go all the way around. Okay, I'm not going to adhere the 1-inch pieces down until we get ready to put the next layer in. So you can see everything is exactly the same. So I cut 4 of each of the things, right? So that each quadrant of my wreath is the same. I thought this would be super cute too, but I only had this piece going in the wrong direction, enough of it going in the wrong direction. So like I said, I've ordered another pack. So maybe we'll have to do something else with the little pumpkins. Okay. Now I have my last set here. You could also totally like ink distress the edges of these. This is a perfect, like I said, because I was basically playing with the end of what I had for this paper, like that was fall themed. This is perfect for like using up scraps, right? So then I did the acorns in the middle. And then the little starburst. See how the circle makes it handy to not go off track. Okay, so now we'll add in our next layer, which are all the 1-inch pieces. And I don't really need this anymore on here. Because basically now I'm also going to cover this up, the inside piece, with a piece of pecan pie that's a circle to kind of even play up more the fact that it's like that full circle wreath look. So and if I have to like just once we get all the layers on here, there's not going to be really any space left. But just if something's off as I go around, I might move things a little bit. Nope, we're not all the way around the circle yet. I was getting ahead of myself. Oh. And the nice thing is it actually doesn't have to be perfect either, right? That one is glued down, so how did I miss this one? Okay. There we go. So we could pick like whatever side you want to be the top. So then in pecan pie, I did cut out a circle that I'm going to add to the middle. And I do believe I ended up with an 8-inch circle. I went back and forth a lot trying out some smaller pieces, but I ended up going with an 8-inch circle. You could actually go a little bit smaller if you wanted. Like there's a little bit smaller. But because of the size photos I wanted to put down, I kind of wanted the slightly bigger one. But just one second now. Now when I look at it. So here we go. I have these two photos. Yeah, we're gonna stick with our 8-inch pecan pie piece. So you know my kitchen plate is 8 inches, like my dessert plate. So you can always just trace it that way. I did actually cut this one with my Cricut, just an 8-inch circle. Okay, so here we go. We've got this layer. Okay, and so we're going to do a 4x6 and a 4x4. And so you know how I said I cut out the inside piece first, right, of the Cajun craze? I did just like a 1/8 inch border for my photo mat, and then I double matted it. So I have black too, because I wanted it to stand out here. And you'll see when we pull in the title too, why I did that. Okay, this I can move out of my way. And then I have a whole bunch of other things that we're going to add to our wreath. So I did some coloring beforehand. So I have some things that we can add into the wreath and parts and pieces that are from the same More Than Autumn. And I did do, like I said, I cut out the title beforehand. So this is a piece of black cardstock and I put adhesive sheet on the back. And so I have, this says nothing's better than, and then I did pumpkin with the dimensional sheets and some of the in color glitter paper. And this says pumpkin, and then we're going to add season, and then we're going to decorate it with all of these fun little things that I have here. So we're going to start at the top of the photo there. So this is kind of where I think I want my photos. So I'm just going to add my ruler there. And I'll start with nothing's better than and the black cardstock. So I'm just peeling it off the adhesive sheet now. Gently. No, it's not Cricut. So this is a die from this die set. So it is this one, and I did put the adhesive sheet on the back and just cranked it through my machine. And then even when I did, because this will be dimensional, the pumpkin, excuse me, I used foam adhesive sheets, and so you can see probably I stuck it to the back of the glitter paper and then ran it through my die cut. And so the pumpkin will be dimensional. You'll see when I pull it off my sheet. So I'm just going to try and be gentle here though. because there's a lot of little inside letters that I want to leave behind. So this way, it's just so I don't have to glue it down. You could totally just run it through your die cutting machine, right, with your cardstock only, and then you don't have to worry about peeling it off the adhesive sheet, and then you could just use glue. But I just wanted it to be a little bit easier to glue down, and I love adhesive sheets. I use them all the time for Cricut or die cutting. If it's something like dainty, that's when you just have that little inside there. So now all I have to do is literally lay it down and it will stick. But like I said, you could totally just add glue onto the back of this too. I just wanted to try and make it a little bit easier on myself. So nothing's better than, and then so, right, now our pumpkin will have foam tape on the back, which I love because this is quite like dainty. So I will say I did have to roll it back and forth a few times, but as long as you're patient, it comes out. And we're going to have a sparkly pumpkin word. And you'll see when I grab my photos that the title kind of works for it. So you could totally do this layout like with pictures from a pumpkin patch, or shopping for a pumpkin, or pumpkin coffees, or any of those fun things. Okay, so I just need to click out, and this is very sticky, the foam adhesive sheet, so you can see it's all stuck to my glittery word. I just need to get the insides out here. There we go. And there's little tiny bits in the P. Okay, so like how fun is that? And like I said, it is super sticky. Holy smokes. And then I just have season. I needed to get that piece of foam tape off my hand though, or I was going to end up stuck to something else. Okay, there we go. So I'll lift this up so you can actually see how thick that pumpkin word is. So like I said, you have to be like patient, but okay, so wait till you see the pictures. Okay, so this is little Emmy, and we got her in the fall. So this is actually just like a farmer's market, and they had like little gourds and like fall mums. So I took pictures of her and my daughter. So that's what I'm going to use here for this layout. I actually had different pictures also printed, so I apparently can fulfill this layout more than once. And so I did add a little bit of twine down there, and I did it exactly the same way I did last week. So I was just trying to skip over some of those things that I did last week so you didn't have to watch them again. So, and these photos, I've just trimmed like an 1/8 of an inch because I like a little white border, no different than why you'll see me very often like double matte my photos. I love the little extra there. Okay, so then I have all sorts of fun things we're going to use to decorate. So, and all of these things came from that same stamp set, and I just colored them with like some of the colors that matched the paper pack, right? So I used pumpkin pie, I used mossy meadow, pecan pie, and then ivory and bronze for most of these pieces. And then I cut out, there's also a super cute die in here that is like, because you know there's like the extra dies all the time, right, that you are bonuses. So there's this little leaf right here that's got the inside and the outside. And so when I ran it through my die cutting machine, when they came out, I just added a little piece of tearing tape to the back of them, and so they stuck together. So just like this, right? I just trimmed off little pieces. That's actually why I think I had some on the edge of my mat, so that they stay together so they're full leaves. And I can just then tuck them in all of the spots. So I think I want to add I want to add a cup there. So I'm going to gently move this over. Hopefully. That's what I was kind of trying to figure out there before. And I actually should have probably just brought my piece over. So I used like the ivory to do some shadows, and then this is like mossy meadow. So I just wanted to kind of sit under the pumpkin word. So like right here is what I'm thinking. And then I can just overlap. Okay, I'm going to adhere this photo down now. There we go. Okay, so this has like 3D foam tape on it. So I am going to add some behind this side of my photograph to make sure that it's popped up. And then a little bit of flat adhesive. So then it will, where it overlaps. Okay, so I think right this corner and down the whole side there. These sheets have long pieces on them. But if you wanted to cut the glitter paper with your Cricut, you can. I just used, when I cut the Stampin' Up! Glimmer paper, I used like the glitter paper setting on my Cricut, but this is tiny. You'd want to like make something a little bit bigger so that, because you would probably have a hard time cutting out something that thin. There we go. Okay, so then I also have, I wanted a bigger pumpkin. So there is a pumpkin in that set, but it says like this little teeny tiny one, which I'm also going to use, but I wanted a bigger one. And so I grabbed that from just this Choose Happy. So I stamped a couple of them and colored them to match, right? So, and then I do have some donuts. We've got some pumpkin donuts and then some chocolate donuts, which I thought I would add on here. And then, like I said, I have the leaves and I did do some whipped cream. So, I can add that on there. And I like it tucked underneath the cup. And so I'm just going to pull that end to the front, right? So now it kind of connects those things. So now I can add a pumpkin up here. Like so. And I'm still going to add a little one. Okay, so let's also tuck some of the leaves into the wreath around the outside. So I cut Cajun Craze and Pecan Pie and Mossy Meadow. So like I said, I just added a little piece of tape to the back. And then you can just peel it off. It's all stuck together. And you can just tuck it wherever you want, right? So I'm going to use all the different colors and go around the outside. So then almost just like as another like embellishment, right? Because it is supposed to look, right, like a wreath. So you could also like take the leaves and splatter them with ink. You know how like leaves when they're like outside and they're on the ground, they're not perfect, right? They've got like different colors in them. That would be cute. But now that my photo's down there, I'm not going to splatter them. Maybe we'll just have to do something else where we do that. Okay, so I thought this was super handy for everything because I really liked the two pieces together. They totally work apart, but I kind of liked the two pieces together. So And you could just create them in like some little clusters. I'm going to do, I actually don't know. Well, maybe we will. Thought I had another pumpkin. Oh, I have some apples. We could color another one. So I just added some light on the whole pumpkin. Like laid my color in. And then I did some with the bullet tip. I just kind of made it look rounder and added some shadows in. And then when it's back in and blended them together. And then the little stem is just pecan pie. Like there's not a lot of room to do like fancy coloring on here, right? So I just did a little tiny bit. And then I just fussy cut these ones out. There's not a die cut, but they were super fast to fussy cut out. And I just kind of, because everything else is die cut, I did leave a little bit of a white border so that they like went with all the other die cuts I was already using. I just tried to mimic kind of approximately the border on the outside. It's not perfect, but that's okay. There we go. Okay. I'm just like tucking these in, and I'll pop this one up on 3D foam. Right, and then I'll probably add a few journaling strips there, so I'm not going to add too much more down here, but I'm going to add some more leaves. Around in the spots. So tuck a Cajun Craze one in there. And one over here. So I've kind of got like 3 cluster spots like of embellishments, right? 1, 2, and then 3 up here. I need some leaves down here, I think. I find this much easier also than like having to. Shelly says, don't forget the pumpkin on the picture of your dog. Oh my goodness. There it is. See, I knew there was another one. Oh, too funny. I'm like, I know that I had more. Well, see, you guys just got to see me color one, that's all. And like I said, the spot is not very big, so it's not a super ton of coloring. I feel like we need a green one down at the bottom. See, sometimes it's like right in front of you, right? And you can't even see it. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is just tuck, add some sparkle, of course. So just my dots, and then we're all done. So see, same concept, but like completely different layout. I'll bring in the other one after. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. Yes, and thank you, Shelly, for pointing out where I left my pumpkins. That's totally funny. Okay, so then for glitter, I have the pecan pie and clear ribboned adhesive back dots, and I'm just going to tuck a couple into each of the clusters for some sparkle. And I think I'm going to use, actually, though, the pecan pie ones. I thought I might use the clear ones. Yeah, I like the pecan pie ones in there. Add a few on some of the leaves. Just one in each of the areas. There's a small one in here. There we go. And just a little bit of Winkostella. Here I can add some on the whipped cream. little bit on the pumpkin here. This pumpkin. Maybe the donut. Just because we can. There we go, guys. That's what I got for you today. I'll actually bring up the other one, though. I lay it beside. And so you can see, right? Same kind of concept. You can see the things that are the same, right? Kept the same border. We did like a circle wreath thing, but like with a different shape. We've got different layers and obviously different embellishments, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed today. And let me know what you think about Facebook's lives on Tuesdays. And watch for the blog post, because there will be a blog post once I take some photographs of the layout and stuff. And you can read more of the details. Talk to you later, guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to add them to the comments below, and I will come back. Because lots of times when I'm actually... when Facebook is streaming, it doesn't let me see the comments. Stacy said that's a good way to have the images stamped in the tray. I always lose mine right in front of me. Well, like you saw me lose my pumpkin today, yes. But so it's just kind of handy if I know that I'm going to do something where I want like a whole pile of stuff to kind of coordinate, then it makes it super easy to like pull stuff from. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Bye-bye.